Production of the J.R. Eldridge Show is made possible with financial support from Turner & Turner, attorneys at law. Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments. The accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler, PLLC. Welch Funeral Home. Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance. Southern Bancorp. Southwest Sporting Goods. Taylor King and Associates. Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts. Price and Company. Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker. Eccles, Thompson and Kneebone. And Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County. This is the J.R. Eldridge Show with the head coach of the Arkadelphia Badgers. Joining Coach Eldridge today is your host, Caleb Byrd.
Welcome back to another week of the J.R. Eldridge Show. I'm your host, Caleb Byrd. We're joined as always by Coach Eldridge. And Coach, this week we're going to talk about a big win, Arkadelphia over Robinson, 28-27. Arkadelphia is back on track now in the conference schedule.
It's a huge win for us. Really proud of our coaching staff, our players, our entire community. I felt like it was a great win at their place. We were able to go on the road and make it happen there, and just so proud of the guts that our football team showed during that game. Faced a lot of adversity during the game. Some that we created ourselves, and then some that was out of our control. But just really pleased with the way that our players just continued to fight until the end, and we were able to come out victorious.
And there was some adversity in the game, Coach. Some injuries, players went down, turnovers happened, and so the team really rallied from that. Made a big play at the end to clinch the victory. Yeah,
we turned the ball over 4 times. They turned the ball over 4 times, so our defense created 4 turnovers too. Turnover margin ended up being even, but just an outstanding. And then, of course, our Cannon Turner went down late in the second quarter. So, you know, that's, gosh, I think he's started for us for 46 games, maybe a little bit more than that over his career. And so, you know, losing him in the middle of a ball game could throw a shock to the rest of our team. Felt like really at halftime our team was really able to regroup and decide that we were going to win the football game. And then, you know, one of the biggest plays that you alluded to was Lorenzo Lawson. Really, you know, our mash middle PAT block right there. We were getting close the entire game, but on that last one, Lorenzo Lawson, Jason Campbell, Sammy Hawthorne really did a great job getting through there, and then Lorenzo getting his big paw on it was huge for us to come away with the victory.
Coach, it was a really exciting game throughout, a lot of big plays and small plays that made a big difference. And so let's take a look at the highlights. Arkadelphia is going to kick off to Robinson to start the game, so high-powered Robinson offense is going to get the ball to start.
Yeah, this was huge right here to start the game off. We were able to get a TFL inside the 20. Bledsoe did a great job making that tackle, and really the entire unit being able to win with speed right there.
Bledsoe had a good game. He recovered cornerback last week, got beat a few times against Nashville, but came back against Robinson with a good performance.
Yeah, he really did a great job. And then, you know, you can see right there, we should have dropped a little bit deeper right there with our Mike linebacker. But, you know, in this first drive was probably Robinson's best drive. Our red zone defense was great all night. This is still on the first drive, and we just got to play better inside leverage with our corner out there. We had a check to where we were doubling number 5. Number 5's been doing a great job for Robinson all season up to this point, but we were able to limit his touches right here. The first drive, we did not execute the way that we should have defensively on him.
Yeah, Robinson able to put a nice drive together to start the game, go up 7-0. But Arkadelphia is going to get the ball back here. Samuel Hawthorne calling a fair catch on the kickoff. Had a big TFL in the red zone a moment ago. And then Cannon Turner, first play of the drive, a long touchdown pass to Buster Thomas.
Yeah, this was huge right here to swing the momentum back in our direction. First play from scrimmage. Great play design by Coach Moreland. We actually had it drawn up for the state championship game last year, but it was raining really bad, so we never got to run it. But it was a huge play, great execution, Cannon and Buster right there, and really good protection by our offensive line as well.
Yeah, usually those first drives of the game are scripted to where you know which plays you're going to run. So you had that play already in the bag, and you knew what defense Robinson was going to come out in, and knew that could be a potential touchdown.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, we'd been running it first thing every day in practice to make sure that we were executing it well.
All right, so Arkadelphia forces a punt on defense. The offense comes back out, not able to move the ball. Turner under pressure.
Yeah, right there. We really we had an open guy. We just got pressured right there. But then defensively, we're able to get the pick six. Cannon right there. Really good job defensively getting that 3 and out, and then coming back out on the next possession, being able to get a score defensively.
Yeah, good job taking care of taking advantage of an opportunity on defense. So defense comes back out now. Robinson just threw a pick six. Run defense coming up big there.
Yeah, run defense was really good. There was a couple chunk plays that they got on the run toward the end of the game, but for the most part, we were able to take away their chunk plays in the run game, and that was huge. That's one of the things we talked about on Sunday. It was huge for us to be able to win on first down on those runs.
Big play there, muff punt. Stopped him on a 3 and out and then muffed the punt.
Yeah, that was a big mistake right there. We were up 14-7 at that point in time, and we've got to be able to secure the ball. Whether we fair catch it right there, we just cannot. That's the number one priority. We can't give that up.
Robinson does break off a long run play there to get within the 5-yard line. Arkadelphia is going to plug the run once again.
It was a great job by K-Bob making that play and keeping him out of the end zone. You'll see later on where Witherspoon does the same thing, and we're able to actually keep him out, our red zone defense. And same thing right here. Kalen made that tackle on the 7-yard line. We're able to get an interception right there. Same thing later on. Witherspoon's able to make a tackle downfield, keeping him out of the box so that our defense continues to have another shot at keeping him out of the end zone. Great third down conversion right there by Kyron Harrison. He was great out of the backfield making these catches, 2 catches for 35 yards, and you can see both of them were in critical situations.
Yeah, Kyron is really good threat there on the screen type of passes. Right here, Cannon Turner throws an interception, and it's a pick six for the Senators.
Yeah, this was really tough to swallow. We've got right there, we didn't we didn't run the routes that we were supposed to run, so it made the defender be in a spot where he wasn't supposed to be. We just got to do a better job all the way around offensively right there.
Offense here, forced to come out and punt it again. Flag comes in on the punt, but Robinson's going to take over possession. Run game up the middle again, and it's stuffed. Robinson generally has a really good power run game. Fast running backs, good big offensive line, but Arkadelphia's defense shuts it down.
Yeah, and they still do. I mean, their running back is really good. He's made a lot of plays for them, and their offensive line is humongous, very athletic. You can see right here defensively, that's an unbelievable 4th down stop. Cole and Kyron right there making a 4th down stop on the transfer from Glen Rose, JT Towers. Huge play against him.
There's a big conversion there. For Cannon to get a first down, always turning his feet, breaking tackles. Here's him up the middle again. Really good power runner.
Yeah, he really was. He's really tough runner. And right here we throw the interception, make a critical error right here, throw the interception again. We overthrow that ball. We floated up there. Really probably should have just tucked it and ran. Everybody was covered up. We've got to do a better job of running our routes full speed so that the defenders see that, and then we can't float the ball up there for them to make a play.
Cannon goes on the kickoff return, takes a big hit there near midfield, and that hit's going to put him out of the game.
Yeah, he actually went down. You saw it play earlier. He actually played with his shoulder hurt for about 5 plays, and that was the last play that he actually played. But right here, Buster comes in. I was really proud of Buster, especially after the punt return mishap, him being able to take his, keep his composure, be able to come in and do things well enough with his feet and with his arm. He's 3 of 9 passing for 37 yards. 2 of them were critical plays for us. Did a lot of great things for us with his legs. Just extremely proud of the composure that he had to come in and really play well enough for us to win the football game. Felt like our defense continues to step up. Special teams, we ended up being able to make some plays that really helped us out.
How much in a given week in practice does Buster usually practice at quarterback?
Not enough, because he's such a threat for us at slot. We don't have the luxury of being able to take him out at slot and putting him in at quarterback. So he probably gets 3 to 4 reps a day at quarterback. So if you total that up, 4 practices per week, he's probably getting 12 to 15 plays per week at quarterback. But just did an excellent job of understanding what we were asking him to do. And we simplified some stuff offensively to where he didn't have to think as much and he could just play, and he did an excellent job. Great job in the red zone by our defense right here, keeping them out of the box. They tried this trick play that they had gotten us on 2 years ago in 2017. Great job by our defense, knowing what to expect and keeping them out of the box there.
Arkadelphia is going to kneel out the first half. So back into the second half now. Buster Thomas still at quarterback, and he is a shifty runner but a good passer here across the middle of Ricky Rogers. Yeah,
this is one of the huge passing plays that we had right here to get us into their territory. Ricky Rogers, Buster was able to read that strong safety and see whether he was coming down on Kyron or staying on Ricky Rogers. He came down on Kyron, so we were able to throw it to Ricky, and Ricky makes a great catch.
Buster coming around now on another run play, hurdles a guy on second down, able to pick up a few yards, but that's just an example of his agility he has. He's such an electric player.
Yeah, he's very, very explosive, got a great vertical leap, and just really explosive. Gosh, this was so close to being a conversion right here. We're 1 yard short, but again, it put Robinson to where they had to really drive the length of the field right there, and so our defense, giving our defense a better chance here.
Right, so Robinson fumbles a handoff here. Arkadelphia recovers within the 20-yard line, so that's a huge play. Momentum shift for the Badgers, taking advantage of another mistake.
Yeah, I felt like our defense being able to stop the run over and over and over again, we were able to put more pressure on those offensive linemen, to put more pressure on the quarterback and the running back, and so it ends up paying off, in the end, to where they fumble the football. We're able to get it back in their territory. Another example of our defense, our offense, and our special teams working together put us in position to get a score right here. Buster takes it in for the score, and then we're able to hit our PAT. Also, another key personnel change that had to happen as a result of Cannon being out of the game. Alex Loyes, our second team holder, he came in, did a great job of getting those PATs down because we know from this game that how much of a difference it makes.
Big sack right there from Ethan Savage, bursting through the D-line really quickly and able to pick that up and get Arkadelphia some good field position here.
It was a great job by Savage being able to make that sack. Sammy being able to stem right there in the A-gap, opened that up because the guard thought that Sammy was coming, then it opens up for Savage. Savage makes a great play, and then you see the 14-yard punt return by Kyron. Great job fielding the football. If he doesn't field that ball, it's probably rolling another 30 yards. So Kyron Harrison, just unbelievable performance on offense, defense, and special teams.
Good field position for the Badgers, but they can't take advantage, go 3 and out, fail to convert on 4th down, and give the ball back to Robinson.
Yeah, right there, huge play for our defense right there. Really made it happen on first down, and just great job.
So forcing another punt out of the Senators. This time, punt return man decides not to take it back. But it sets up the offense again with good field position.
Yeah, we tried to go after the block right there, really close, had a lot of pressure. That probably caused his, and we had already put their true punter out of the game, so really helped us, putting us in good position, getting ready for the fourth quarter right here. Great run by Buster, really doing a good job of being patient, setting up his blocks, and making some plays.
I noticed Badgers, after Turner went out, did not punt the ball again. Do you have a backup punter that can come in and do that?
We do. Alex Lloyd does the backup punting as well, and Buster sometimes does it from our quarterback spot when we use our quick kick. It's a huge play right there by Kyler Pfeiffer, just trying not to be denied the end zone, gets us on the one right there, and then we're able to get it in. This was really, really close. I was nervous about this kick, but it went through. Savage and Lloyd right there came through.
Yeah, that was turns out to be a big play for the Badgers to make that kick. It's 28-21 the score now. Special teams once again making a big play here on the kickoff.
Yeah, that was huge, pinning them back on their 20 right there. We were hoping for a TFL, really close to getting that, and then we again stopped their run on first down. Do a great job right there. Good job of really getting to the football defensively.
Yeah, and then Robinson here with a big breakaway run. Looks like he could take it to the house. Missed tackle there, but good job in pursuit. Is that Witherspoon making the tackle?
Yeah, it's Lucas Witherspoon. Real proud of the way he played. We're able to keep him out of the end zone on this drive. Him running number 6 down, we're able to keep him out, and that's huge for us. Right there, Trey Bledsoe with a huge pass breakup. Lucas had some problems early with his eye. He got smoked in the eye early. I think it was first play of the game, and he played through it the entire game. Face was all bruised up, but just proud of his performance.
Yeah, that was huge. And then really the difference-making play in the game, that kickoff, that extra point block by Lorenzo Lawson.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Just an outstanding effort by really all three of those guys in the middle right there, and Lawson was able to get his hand on it and keep it from going in, giving us the 1-point lead.
28-27 the score now. Arkadelphia running the ball well, keeping the clock running, and then an interception here gives Robinson a chance here. Going to get the ball on their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, so that was a third down right there. Felt like we needed to pass right there, but Kyron converted that first third down by a second effort on the run. Then we weren't able to complete that pass or run for the first down, so we ended up giving it back to him right there. And then unbelievable play by Trey Bledsoe. Cole Turner was around the ball all night long. Running to the football really pays off. Cole was our defensive player of the game. Kai was our Badger Spirit Award winner. That was a huge play by Bledsoe right there. Just guys all over the place making plays, and that's really what it came down to was our guys in those tough situations being able to make plays, and I just felt like it was such a gutsy performance by our football team.
The defense did a great job all night long taking advantage of opportunities. The two interceptions from Turner weren't necessarily that he jumped a route. It was an overthrown pass. He took advantage of the opportunity and made the interception.
Yeah, he really did. Did a great job, and really that overthrow, I felt like our secondary, we were doing some things that nobody else had done against them before, so it was kind of throwing their quarterback off. The other thing that plays into those errant passes is our defensive line pressure. We felt like if we could get that pressure, that we would put number 8, their quarterback, in a bad situation, because he really, when he experienced pressure in the previous games on film, he didn't throw near as well. We felt like we we really did a great job of getting more pressure than anybody that they've played up to this point. And that says something about our defensive line coach, Coach Wilson. It says something about our defense coordinator. It says something about our defensive line. Just did a great job. And then we were also getting pressure with the blitzes that really hurt him as well.
The secondary recovered really well from the game against Nashville. They got beat a few times on long passes. They came back against a Robinson team with some really athletic receivers, and they ended up getting a big game.
Yeah, we were able to learn some things. Again, Nashville really didn't show that much passing, and we if you look back at it, we probably could have had a little bit better of a plan in the secondary for that. But what we did change and what we learned from our mistake was, we were going to take away their best wide receiver, and felt like, I think he had 46 total yards maybe, and so. I feel like that was huge for our secondary, and they really ended up being great. And then, of course, Bledsoe chasing down that reverse at the end just did an excellent job. So really proud of our coaches and our football players.
Yeah. So and then the offense took care of business when they needed to. They had to punt the ball a few times, a few turnover on downs, but did what they needed to do to get the win.
Yeah, it really did. The bottom line is we won by 1 point, however it is, and that's what we always talk about as a team. If one phase of the football game is not going our way, then we've got to pick it up in the other two phases, or vice versa. So, really proud of our team and the way they were able to show guts and make it happen.
All right, Coach. Let's look ahead. It was a good win against Robinson, but now it's time to look ahead at the next week and the rest of the conference season. Arkadelphia is now 1-1 in the conference. The loss to Nashville, the win over Robinson. But now, to a lot of outside observers, probably not your coaching staff, Arkadelphia has completed the tough part of their regular season schedule. They got 5 games now against teams they've beat the last 3 years. So how do you have to look at this rest of the schedule?
Well, I think it's the same. We've got to come up with our best plan for our players to be in great position to make plays in these games and really prepare for each opponent the same way, come up with a great plan, help our players to understand and learn how to execute that plan during practice throughout the week. And that's going to be the biggest focus in practice is executing the plan, cutting down on the missed assignments, focusing on the fundamentals of each play, and how best we can attack Fountain Lake this week in our game versus them at home in a homecoming game.
And how do you keep the players focused on this game? Because they're hearing things from the outside about, Fountain Lake might not be as good as Robinson or Nashville or Benton was. How do you keep the players focused on this week and say you have to put in the same amount of preparation as you always do?
Well, good, bad, whatever the case might be for our opponent, the biggest focus needs to be on what are we doing? Are we having our good energy, effort, and focus in practice? Are we going to commit the same mistakes or missed assignments that we had in the previous game, or are we going to clean those things up? And to me, that's where being able to play your best football each next week is really the key. Are we going to be able to cut down on those mistakes, and are we going to be able to really fix what we might have done wrong the previous week and continue to do the things well that we've been doing well?
All right, Coach, can you give us a bit of a rundown on Fountain Lake? How do they look this year? What kind of offense are they running, defense? I know they've changed coaches recently, so a bit of a new look for Fountain Lake.
There's been a lot of coaching changes over at Fountain Lake. They do have fewer numbers, obviously, than they have in the past as well as far as players playing in the games. But offensively, they're going to be in the wing tee, similar to when Coach Gillerin was there. They'll be in the wing tee, so we've got to be prepared to stop that. And then on offense, their defense, we've got to really be able to attack. It's a 4-2-5 defense, similar to when Coach Gillerin was there, and similar to what Robinson does as well. But their coverage is a little bit different. They'll be in cover 3 more so than what Robinson was in, and You know, they'll be in what we call yellow, cover 4 some as well. But we've got to really focus on what we're going to do offensively, defensively, and in special teams to clean up what we did last week and to just become a better football team each new week.
How does playing a team like Wynn earlier in the season that runs the same style of option offense and runs it really well, how does it prepare you to play now Fountain Lake, who runs a very similar offense?
Well, I think, we've got to be disciplined and play our responsibility because if we don't, we're going to lose numbers to one side of the ball, and they're going to take advantage of that. So I think and also the personnel and the look of the formation, even though it's an entirely different offense, the personnel and the look of the formation helps us to see, they got 3 backs in the backfield, they've got 1 tight end, they've got one wide receiver. So just knowing how to align kind of helps us for this week, knowing that they've got really 31 personnel the majority of the time. So, those 2 things can really help us this week.
All right, and then looking at your offense this next week, Cannon Turner went out on Friday night. Buster Thomas came in, played well. How will having a full week of practice with Buster Thomas, if he does play on Friday, how will that improve his performance this week?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for Buster to be put in a live situation where he's been coached up, more so than he had been. There's a difference between getting 15 snaps a week at quarterback and, if we go 30 plays and 90 plays in preparation for a game. I think it'll help him a ton just to be able to see the entire field in practice and then be able to see the entire field in the game rather than just thinking about what his job on a particular play is. He's really got to know what everybody's doing and specifically what we're trying to accomplish on those plays. So it's going to help him tremendously for his performance this week in the Fountain Lake game. But it also takes him out of the wide receiver spot. Obviously, Kyler Pfeiffer plays a lot already. He plays really all the time at wide receiver, but now he'll be put in that slot situation. So we've got some things to work on in practice to really get our offense where we want it to be for Friday night.
And then real quick, Coach, what's the thing you're most looking forward to about this next week?
Well, I'm looking forward to practice. Just looking forward to being able to get better in offense, to get better on offense, defense, and special teams. Really focus on being able to improve from this previous week.
All right, Coach. Arkadelphia is going to be at home this Friday, and it's homecoming. So if you're an Arkadelphia High School alumnus, I'm sure they're going to want you to come out to the stadium to cheer on the Badgers. There's going to be a lot of class reunions going on, a lot of festivities, but the biggest event of them all, the football game against Fountain Lake. 7 p.m. Friday night. If you can't be there, tune in online, ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com, and we'll be back here next week to break down that game and then focus on the next one. So we'll see you then.
Sponsors of the J.R. Eldridge Show include Southwest Sporting Goods, Taylor King and Associates, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson and Kneebone, Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County, Turner and Turner, Attorneys at Law, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning and Plyler, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, and Southern Bancorp. The J.R. Eldridge Show is produced each week by the Rogers Department of Communication at Ouachita Baptist University.